Guys, I'm back at the cottage. December 28th. Minus 13. The warm weather has finally stopped. I've already been up on the roof clearing the panels. The batteries when we got here were sitting at 12.6 because my grandparents forgot the power inverter on and they got covered. And so and battery voltage is lower than usual. Usually they'd be fully charged, even with the trickle charge through the snow. But that power inverter uses about almost 1 amp continuous. So what I did was I got my lawnmower generator out that I built. Excuse me. Not used to this cold weather. Makes me cough even more than usual. Sorry about the shaky camera. The rear deck. 4-gauge booster cables coming straight from the lawnmower generator. And then I have another set of 2-gauge booster cables here going into the house, straight to the battery bank. And it instantly brought the battery bank to around 13 volts. And I'm not sure how many batteries got hooked up. I'm pretty sure he has 7 right now. 5 hardwired and 2 hooked up with booster cables just because he was doing that for winter storage. But yeah, the priority, I wanted to do a start to finish of when we got here, what we had to do to prep this place because it's minus 13 inside, or was. But now, I'll go inside and show you what I did inside. So inside, we had our little girl. We had that running just for a bit to take the chill out of the air. Got my Mr. Heater buddy. I know you're not supposed to have the propane tank inside, but it's cold. We got fireplace going. And then here's the booster cables we got coming inside. Clamp to battery bank. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries here. And we got another 2 batteries over here hooked up with a booster cable. And now with that lawnmower generator, wow, we're at 13.4 volts. And only 1.5 amps coming in from solar because the sun's way past peak of the day. It's actually almost down, or it's already down. The only sunlight we're getting now is reflect off the clouds. So yeah, it's working real nice. That lawnmower generator up at the cottage. My wife and daughter. Alright, hope you guys enjoy this video. So I had idled it down for fuel consumption, but as it gets darker, we started taking more power. Like, I got that fan on. The light doesn't have to be on, but it's only like 10 watts or something. There's about 1 amp of current. I'll be shutting that off when I go inside, but I got the fan because all the heat rises to the top. The house started at minus 13, so I turned it almost up to full revs to keep it running now. Hopefully it stays running, we'll see. It's getting dark. Solar is doing absolutely nothing now. Got the outside light on. Excuse me. You go inside, see what it's like inside. The off-grid cottage. Wife's texting. Yeah, it's getting warmer in here. Got a kitchen light on. Fan on, 2 lights here. Heater buddy's off the ground so we don't burn the carpet. It doesn't get that hot, but we do it anyways. Donut man playing for the little one. Fireplace is going. Got 2 more lights over there. With the generator running out there, everything on in here, we're sitting at 13.1 volts. and that is because it's stalled. Because I had the RPMs at about half between idle and full throttle on the lawnmower generator. So stalled for a bit, and the volts went down for a bit, so now it's working its way back up. There we go, 13.2. Like I said, it's working its way up. But this system, even though it's not hooked up 100% the way it should, is doing really well. This is what's powering everything. Here, let's see if I can get a light here. I can go get this flashlight. By the way, I really like this flashlight. Cheap, and it works really well. Okay. So this is the battery bank. And what runs this entire house, like, you can't run everything in the house. Like, the vacuum cleaner is not going to run off this. Microwave just barely runs off this if there's not too much else running. It's a 1,000 watt pure sine wave inverter by Eliminator. I'm not sure if it still is, but Eliminator used to be made by Antrax. I don't know if it still is. But this mess of wires, it's pretty simple. It looks, this is going, I just added this. This is going to this 300 watt heater. It's 12 volts. I just had it. It's a foot warmer, really. It works pretty good though for a foot warmer. Really nice foot warmer. It helps heat the house. When it was sunny out, that's what I was using. House is using 170 watts, so that's about 17 amps. Probably closer to 20 amps actually. That generator is able to put out 46 amps before it stalls. So we're well within what that generator can run. And yeah, we're doing very good for voltage. 13.3 volts. We're rising, so we're gonna be all right. We've got about 30 to 35 centimeters of snow coming tonight. So we're gonna be warm with our propane heater, fireplace, and the lawnmower generator. Thanks for watching, guys. Just enjoying it at the cottage. Hopefully we'll get some sun in the next couple of days, but I don't think so. I know for sure I'm gonna have to go back up there and uncover those solar panels tomorrow sometime. LED lights are super dirty, but I was gonna show you guys how bright they are. Just for fun. I haven't set this up, but they're awesome. Got my all power solar panel, all powers actually. Might get some more stuff from these guys. I bought this one. This was $239 Canadian, so it's probably quite a bit less US. This is an awesome panel for the price. Anything else I get from them, I might review a few of their products, just because I like this one so much that I contacted them and told them how much I liked it, and that I feel like I could do some honest reviews on their products. And they might send me a few things. I don't know what they're going to send me, but we'll see. But the 60 watt panel works flawlessly. Outputs what they say it can output, and I was testing it in winter sun, and I was still putting out about 45 watts. So I'm very pleased with this solar panel for the price. If you want 120 watts, I was looking at Power Film, not the Bash Power Film. That Power Film, it looks like an amazing product, but it is $1,700 for 120 watts, and I can get the same thing for $440, 120 watts. And it won't be quite as durable, but I mean, I'm not going to walk on these. There's people walking on the Power Film panels, and who's going to walk on their panels? You got to just put this somewhere where it won't get destroyed, and pay a fraction of the cost and get the same output. Anyways, just wanted to share that. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, guys. Hope you enjoy this video. I'll see about uploading this tonight. We'll see how the internet works with this winter storm we're supposed to be getting. We came up here just to experience a nice northern storm, and it's supposed to be retarded windy and 30 to 35 centimeters of snow. Almost 6 o'clock, having supper. Got Donut Man on again for summer. Sitting by the fire because it's nice and warm. And we just made, got the barricade up so summer can't get into this cold air. The underneath the cottage isn't insulated, so the rug is nice and warm. This is really cold, we don't want her in here. Got some good old craft dinner and hot dogs. Amazing when you're hungry. Still got the generator running outside because the batteries were low when we got here, so I want to give them a nice charge. Got the green light still, pitch black outside. 13.3 volts. Come on, focus, you stupid thing. There we go. So, good voltage in the battery. I got my laptop hooked up to my 600 watt pure sine wave inverter. 12 amp hour LiPo pack on top, so that'll give me a decent runtime, especially on power saver mode. For light, I got this, well, one of my lights, I got this really nice LED light, works really well. It's got a top light too. Because we're using a propane heater, and we were using the oven to help heat the house for a little bit. Got this carbon monoxide detector that I've been testing with, and we haven't even hit 1, what is it, ppm or something like that. That's the rating for carbon monoxide. So this house leaks everywhere, so we don't have to worry about that. Anyways, just giving you guys an update of what we're doing. Alright, so I gotta talk quietly because I got people sleeping in the next room. Got the fire going. Fan in both the living room and the main bedroom is on. My laptop is running off my LiPo battery box, which I made. It's running that. That is approximately 80 amp hours of LiPo batteries. I have a 300 watt heater I was using to warm my feet until this whole place warmed up. It's now warm. This is the bedroom is now 20 Celsius. That's with the Mr. Heater Buddy heating it still on full. It's about the same in here. Batteries are holding up, but they are very, very cold, these batteries, because I was minus 13. They're freaking cold to touch. It's still ice cold, and that is why they're 12.2 volts under load, but the load isn't that great. The load is only about 50 watts. But I've noticed I have these same batteries at my house, and they just, when they're cold, they run at low 12 voltages. In the summer they'll run more like 12.6 volts for until about 60%, and then at 50% they run it around, I don't know, quite a bit less, maybe like 12.1 volts or something, around 50%, but they like to hold it around 12.5, around there. When they're cold though, like this came off a full charge, and we've only used, let's see, maybe 100 amp hours total up till now. And let me get the light again. And we have 135 amp hour battery, 135 amp hour, 135 amp hour, 135, 135. And then we have 2 more over there at 135 amp hours. So it's staying at 12.2, and it's ever since the generator shut off fairly soon after. It dropped to about 12.2. That was after my wife used the microwave, though, because she did warm up a bottle for the baby. So that was using 1100 watts out of the 1000-watt inverter. And before that, it was staying at about 12.5, 12.4 volts. Then ever since then, it stayed at 12.2 volts, and it hasn't dropped. So these batteries just like to sit at 12.2 volts when they're this cold. They're still working fine. They haven't dropped lower since, so I'm not worried. If it dropped to like 12 volts when it's not under load, then I would be like, okay, they're getting low. But 12.2 volts under load hasn't dropped at all. It means that they have plenty of power to put out. A lot of people at this point would be like, oh, these batteries are defective. Or they'd just be like, my battery bank is dead, which they are not. They have lots of power still. You just gotta understand that they're cold and they're not operating properly like they would in the warmth. Anyways, updating my status here at the off-grid cottage. Next day. What a pain that was to get started this morning, because it has that much snow on it as well. Well, kinda. It was underneath the table like that. Got it started. We got dumped on. What a ridiculous amount of snow. Batteries went down to 12.1 volts last night to this morning. And oh, there's my Jeep. See? Quite the load of snow. I got the generator running again, because there's no way we're getting any power in this. Coming inside. And we are at 13.2 volts. We're doing alright. Just a little one playing around the booster cables. Alright, thanks for watching. So it finally stopped snowing. And now I gotta go up there and sweep the panels off so I can get some charge, hopefully. I'll show you guys up there. 2 down, 4 to go. Here's the view of the frozen beaver pond. Connects to a lake over there. It's nice. It's very cold, so I'm gonna get to it. After shoveling off all the solar panels, we're sitting at 12.3 volts and almost 5 amps coming in, which isn't bad, seeing as the sun is way past peak. But we're doing pretty good. Still got the generator running, but don't really need to. Just have it running so we can run whatever we feel like. Thanks for watching. So, got my Jeep running because the batteries in the back of this vehicle that I have hooked up are totally independent from the front. For now, anyways. I have a line running to the back, it's not hooked up yet. So I got 2-gauge booster cables running all the way to the back. Not the prettiest setup. Everything's like alligator clamps. I want everything here. They're connected with Anderson plugs. Everything can be disconnected and taken apart and out of here in a few minutes. That's a 55 amp hour. It's a 35 amp hour and a 35 amp hour. And all these put together, I had charging this battery. And they couldn't output any more power. They couldn't fully charge this battery pack. All three of these put together. That just shows how much power there is in this LiPo box. But anyways, so I have my Jeep running. Almost no power coming in from the solar. 13.7 volts with the Jeep running. Charging these, I have one negative on this side and a positive on this side, so it's going to run through all these batteries equally. This is how I charge my LiPo box. I only have this set to 20 amps. So it's charging at a 20 amp rate. I restarted this. It was like 46 or 47 amp hours on the meter here, plus another 4.5. So that's what's gone into here so far, about 50 amp hours, and we're at 12.8 volts. It'll take quite a bit more to get to 12.6 volts. Then it'll be charged and I can use it again inside the house. And yeah, this is my setup. I shouldn't have to idle the engine for too long. Maybe like 15 minutes or something. I don't want these batteries were down to, it was under load. They're 11 volts under load. They popped right back up to a little over 12 volts, but I don't want to leave them that state of charge. So I have them bouncing, and you can see the balance of these cells in this box. So cell 1 is probably the weakest. It dies a tiny bit quicker than the others and charges a little bit quicker, as you can see. It's not a big deal, they're pretty close. Still got the Go power inverter on the side, 300 watts. It's actually 600 watts. It does 600 watts for quite a while. My Mesa wires on the side. Everything's working really nice here. I ran my laptop yesterday and all night last night off this, all the way till this morning when it went dead. I was trying to upload a video for you guys, and the video was so big. It was like, I think it was around 20 minutes. Actually, it's part of the video that a series that I'm videoing right now. It was so big that at 20 minutes, 1080p, 60 frames a second, that it took till morning to upload. It was at 97% and my battery died. I wasn't aware of it. And so now I have to do it all over again. Anyways, so at 97%, the video uploaded, but is not complete, so I can't play it, and I don't know how to just continue. This is my camping setup. I also have, running off these batteries, got a 3000 watt eliminator, a 1000 watt eliminated pure sine wave. I got my Tracer MPPT 10 amp charge controller. I highly recommend these. These are probably the best for the money you can buy. I paid 75 bucks for this MPPT. Works great. And then again, I got the panel on the roof, 255 watts. B grade panel, has some sort of blemish or something, I don't know. I can't find it. It looks fine to me. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll keep updating you if there's anything interesting. It's the third day for the cottage. Got the lawnmower generator going again. It's cloudy. I just swept off the panels on the roof. And with the panels swept off, we are still making almost 9 amps. 12.8 volts. We were down to 12 volts this morning. But these batteries, believe it or not, are still very, very cold. This part of the house is cold. Inverter's off at the moment. Waiting for the voltage to go over 13 volts before I turn the house back on. Just lets the generator keep its revs up. And yeah. How I have to hook this generator up though, I have these thinner set of cables which have some resistance in it, because when the voltage gets down to 12 volts on this massive bank, that generator is not able to charge it at that voltage. It just bogs the engine down. So I put it through these thinner cables, which will allow resistance through the lines, and I'm able to charge it that way. And then once the voltage gets around like high 12s. Like right now I could directly hook it up to the battery, which I'm going to do after this video, and I'll get even more charge current into the batteries. And just wanted to update you guys, and this will probably be our last video for this up north series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button. So that's it for the cottage. Got dryer sheets everywhere, helps keep the mice away and whatnot. We used a lot of power just recently. We vacuumed the floors with show you the vacuum. With this baby, takes a ton of power. It takes 1100 watts continuous, and the startup surge is really high. So what I did to get it to run on this 1000 watt inverter is I had a smaller 600 watt inverter. It's a Chinese brand. I really like it. It lets the voltage dip down to like 40 volts if it has to. And then I just hit the button a bunch of times to get the engine spinning slowly, and eventually got up to about half to 3/4 speed on the little 600 watt inverter. And then I had that there in the vacuum here, and I had this sitting here. This and then after the RPMs were up a little bit on the first inverter, I switched to the house and did the same thing. I plugged and unplugged, plugged and unplugged until the RPMs got up high, and then I was able to run the vacuum cleaner. It worked really good like that. Nothing else in the house could be on. It was pulling 1100 watts out of a 1000 watt inverter. That inverter has about a 1200 watt peak. It can run 1100 watts continuous for a little while. By the time she was done vacuuming, I could smell something. I came over here, and these, I don't know what gauge, these are either 2 or 4 gauge, but I think they're 4 gauge, these wires here. They're a little bit warm at the solder joint right here. The whole thing was a little warm. The inverter was very warm. It was heating up like crazy because obviously you're pulling too much power out of a 1000 watt inverter. And yeah, so now I'm just trying to make up some power before I leave with the lawnmower generator, because this is the peak that they will get out of 900 watts in wintertime, because the sun comes up like this and the panels are facing that way. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this little camping update.